What's up, guys? This is Noah from Low Rated Duelist here today to bring you my Nekroz deck profile for 2017. This deck is still very playable, especially now with the Cyber Angels, which I'm going to get into in a second. This deck really went through some awkward phases where, everything's hit, Unicorn to 1, Brio to 1, Shirt banned. Konami just really neutered this deck. I mean, really there's no other way to put it. This deck was neutered, it was shut down, it's dead. Or so people thought until the Cyber Angels came out, and now this deck has really kind of gone through like a metamorphosis, a transformation into. You're not quite going to be doing the same things that you were doing before, because the deck can manage resources so much better now. Because Ben 10 is always going to be constantly used for cycle plays to get stuff back to your hand, and it's really going to help you out on resources with searches. And so that's one area where the deck has really massively improved. Not only that, but the types of plays that are available to you now, because now we're running the 2 copies of Herald of Perfection, and we have negations for days. We're running the 1 copy of Vanity's Ruler, which can be summoned. Most of the time the way it's going to go is you can add it to your hand via Ben 10's effect, search it out because it's a light fairy, and since we're running the Brilliant Fusion engine, you can use Seraphonite's second normal summon to be able to get this thing on board. And this plus a Herald on board is usually just GG most of the time. Most decks are going to scoop against that, because what are you going to do if you can't special summon and 2 or 3 of your card effects are about to be negated? Even if you could, even if you had plays outside of being able to special summon something, if all your stuff's going to get negated anyways, like how are you supposed to get over that? That's usually just a GG, and you guys will see that here in the replays coming up. But that being said, this is not the main focus of the deck. The main focus of the deck is to effectively manage your resources with Ben 10 and use that to your advantage to basically just kind of like out-duel your opponent, which it kind of sounds awkward, kind of goofy, kind of strange saying that about Nekroz, because Nekroz, with everything hit to 1, things banned, it lost advantage so fast. Your resources were gone so fast, but that problem has now been fixed with the addition of the Cyber Angels. Excuse me, I can't stop coughing today. We're running the 3 copies of Ben 10 and the 1 copy of Editin. This is all you need. 3 Ben 10 is mandatory. This is your I want to say most important card. Your most important card is going to be Bryanak for sure. This is going to be your second most important card. This is what it's going to be adding your Sinjus, your Manjus to your hand, adding your negations for Herald, adding your Vanity's Ruler. It's going to do so much for you. And now, on top of that, we're also running triple pre-prep to add your Herald and your ritual spells to your hand. This whole little package here, the Herald plus the Cyber Angels plus the pre-prep, is really what makes the deck more consistent, more powerful, better at managing resources than it has been in the past, and this is what's taking it over the top. I feel like this plus your standard kind of Nekroz engine. I'm only running 1 Valk. 1 Valk is all you need. It's too hard to summon. Before, a lot of decks were running 3. 3 is, it's just, there's no way, because 3 is going to brick, because you're not going to be, 99% of the time, you're not going to be able to summon this thing. This thing is going to be used to protect yourself from OTKs, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there are situations where you can do a Kaleidoscope play with Colossus and this guy to like send a Star Eater. That's why we're running Star Eater to summon this guy, but it's not going to come up a lot, because chances are, if you have a Colossus in your hand, you're going to want to pitch it for a spell to bring your Bryanak back and get a search off Ben 10, or beef your monsters up with Editin or something like that. But it does come up occasionally, but 9 duels out of 10, you're not going to summon Valkyrie, so you're just going to use it for protection. The 1 copy of Trish is obviously, Trish is Trish. It's always going to be good. It's always going to be scary. It's easier to summon it now than it has been, because a lot of times what you can do is a mirror play. All these Cyber Angels are level 6s. Tribute one of these from your hand, plus banish a Colossus from your graveyard to summon this thing, and that's gonna just really, because before, normally what you have to do is banish your Bryanak, banish your Colossus from your graveyard. You can't banish this Bryanak. You can't banish him. He's too important. So that's kind of out the window. But being able to tribute one of these guys from your hand instead, and get a search, and get a Trish on board, and banish 3 of your opponent's cards, I mean, come on, guys, that's broken. And it's going to be super good. This deck is by no means Trishula.deck. That's why we're only running one copy, because you're not going to be making this guy every single duel. It will be that play will be there for you if you need it to get over something. But most of the time, you're going to want to be careful with your stuff, manage your resources well. Keep cycling back your Brynac, because that's just super good. Make rank 4s with instant fusion, with Brilliant Fusion. That's usually an extra rank 4 with Brilliant Fusion. And use Herald to kind of shut your opponent down. And those things combined, plus the 2 copies of Dimensional Barrier that we're running, a lot of times your opponent it's going to be too much for them to overcome. A lot of times that's the way the deck is going to win. It's going to outgrind, outduel your opponent. And you guys are going to see that in the replays coming up here. I just want to quickly go over the extra deck. Running 3 rank 6s here. 1 copy of Ptolemy, 1 copy of Bouncer, 1 copy of Beatrice. I don't make Bouncer that much. I might take him out for something else. Running the 1 copy of Seraphinite because it can be added back to your deck, along with your Garnet, with either one of the 2 copies of Emerald that we're running. You got to run 2 copies of Emerald because it's too important to reset your resources, put your stuff back in the deck. If your first copy gets striked, bottomless, time and space, whatever what have you, that second copy is always going to be there for you, and this is super important. The rest of the extra deck is pretty self-explanatory. These guys, the Synchros, are here only for Kaleidoscope plays. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The deck is a lot more powerful, a lot more consistent than it has been before, and I'm really proud of this build. And I want to showcase for you guys now some replays to show you guys exactly what it can do.
Chance came to begin.